Get on up.
Everybody right there.
Get into it.
Everybody right there.
Get involved.
Everybody just come on up. Come on up.
The Public Good. This is Sam Magavern from the Partnership for the Public Good, or PPG, which unites 270 community organizations working to build a better Buffalo. We're delighted to be joining you from now on every Tuesday at 7 p.m. here on WUFO. Today we're joined by Kate Serrata, Executive Director of the Service Collaborative of Western New York. We'll be talking about TSC's opportunities for people who choose to dedicate their time to service. Don't forget to follow PPG on Facebook and Twitter, and of course you can always get great information on our website, ppgbuffalo.org. The Public Good is sponsored in part by Univera Healthcare, real people who really care. Video of this show is on our Facebook page at facebook.com/ppgbuffalo. You can also find videos from previous week's shows on our YouTube page. A couple of announcements before we get started. This Saturday, October 14th, PPG and partners are presenting an all-day anti-gentrification summit at the Matt Urban Hope Center at 385 Paderewski Drive. Come out from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. for discussion of housing, policing, education, and transit, all related to gentrification. If you can't come for the whole day, feel free to drop in for part of the proceedings. You can get more information about that from our website at ppgbuffalo.org and on our Facebook page. Also want to let you know that our friends at Open Buffalo are having a Justice and Opportunity Essay Contest. If you had $2,500 to solve a problem that you see in your community, what would the problem be and what would you do about it to create change in your community? Essays can be submitted by email to info@openbuffalo.org or can be mailed to Open Buffalo at 617 Main Street, Suite 350. All entries are due today, so get to work on your Justice and Opportunity essays. They are due today, October 10th, 2017. Lastly, I want to let you know that there's a wonderful conference coming up called Reclaiming Our Ancestors, conference focused on racial justice and public history. That will be October 19th through 21st, brought to us by the UB Humanities Institute. Conversations and workshops will take place at various locations on the campus and throughout Buffalo. For more information, you can check out UB's website. That's the Humanities Institute, Reclaiming Our Ancestors. I'll be part of one of the panels. There's some amazing people coming in from out of town, people whose ancestors were enslaved, talking about some of their experiences and some of the research that they've done. Lots of other topics going on as well. Part of the Reclaiming Our Ancestors Conference coming up October 19th through 21st. With that, I want to welcome Kate Serrata to the show from the Service Collaborative of Western New York. Thanks so much for being here, Kate.
Thank you for having me.
So for those who aren't familiar with the Service Collaborative of Western New York, give us the real nutshell version of what you guys all do.
The Service Collaborative of Western New York is a local nonprofit here in Buffalo that provides opportunities to individuals to serve their community as well as gain valuable experience on the professional side, on the personal side, and to build networks across Western New York.
And I should say right off, we've been the benefit of having volunteers from the Service Collaborative at PPG for a number of years now. It's an amazing program for us. We get really high quality volunteers at a very affordable price for us, I have to say, including currently our communications and outreach specialist who's filming today's episode, Colleen Stapleton. So we're very grateful to be part of the Service Collaborative's efforts. So you've got quite a few different programs, and I think we should go through those. But before we do that, you've got a big event coming up. I want to make sure we mention that. Tell us about the Suite for Service event.
Sure. Suite for Service, our annual fundraiser, is coming up on Saturday, November 4th at 5:30 p.m. at the Ellicott Square building. We will be offering beer, wine, food for a ticket price of $35, as well as basket raffles and silent auction items, all to benefit the Service Collaborative. Each year, starting last year, we honor champions of service. We decided that recognizing some outstanding individuals in the world of service here in Western New York is really what we wanted to focus Suite for Service on. And so this year, our champions of service are for outstanding alumni, and that is going to Tom Lowe from Renew Niagara, who is an AmeriCorps Vista member. Outstanding community partner, the Foundry, which we'll be talking a little bit more about our partnership with them in one of our programs later. And the outstanding community leader this year is Avi Israel from the Save the Michaels of the World Incorporated.
Working on opioid issues
Yes.
in Western New York,
Yes.
right? Yeah, fantastic. So Suite for Service, November 4th, sounds like a wonderful event. Hope folks can turn out for that. You're also hiring or recruiting right
Yes.
now, so let's go through some of the programs that you do and some of the opportunities that are available for folks right now. So let's start with the ABLE program. Tell us about that and what someone might need to know if they were interested in volunteering for that.
ABLE, also known as AmeriCorps Builds Lives Through Education, is the big education-focused program at the Service Collaborative. We provide partnership opportunities for local schools and community organizations providing in-school and after-school programming to students grade 4th through 10th. And ABLE members go into these partners trained in 2 evidence-based interventions, a social-emotional intervention and a math intervention. And not only are our AmeriCorps members serving in the classroom space for these interventions, they're also providing support, academic and social emotional support to students. And our sites, the benefit to the sites is that these members are coming committed to urban education. They're coming committed to helping students succeed in and out of the classroom.
Right, right. So for folks out there who might know someone or might themselves be interested, what kind of person are you looking for? Who would really benefit from spending a year in service in the ABLE program?
We recruit from everywhere, local, national. We look for people who have some college experience. A college degree is good, but it's not required. We look for individuals ready to make that commitment. It's a full-time year of service, so 35 to 40 hours a week in their placement site. We want individuals who are looking at this opportunity not only to give back to a community, but also to give themselves the tools and resources to become better people in society and to gain knowledge and resources that they can use throughout the rest of their lives.
So I would imagine some of the folks who are doing ABLE are thinking about a career in teaching, maybe haven't got their certificate yet, but are doing this in preparation for that.
Yes.
Some maybe already have
we do.
teacher's
We
certificate.
see some folks that have the teacher certification, others who are looking to see if teaching is for them.
Right.
Another extra benefit of doing service across any of our programs is that at the end of a successful term, they do receive an education award.
Yeah.
So the education award can be used to pay off student loans, perhaps if they already have their teaching certificate, or to go back to school, or to go to school, or a trade program.
So nuts and bolts, I guess we should talk about pay, benefits, and then kind of these other special benefits like the education credit. So is it the same across the different programs? Or
It's the same for ABLE and the Economic Development Corps. The living stipend is $12,100. That's paid bi-weekly. It is taxed. Health insurance is included for full-time members if needed. Individual health insurance, no cost to the participant. Child care if needed and if qualified. We provide bi-weekly and monthly trainings for all of our participants. So individuals are getting very regular professional development, certifications, other pieces that can be used on a resume or in job searches after their term of service. And then at the end of the term of service, an education award is awarded that can be used at any qualifying college, university, trade school, to pay off qualified student loans. And those education awards are good for 7 years.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, I think for folks considering it, it's important to think about that full package because they're the full health insurance, those education awards, those are really very valuable things, and the career development obviously is priceless. So ABLE for folks who are interested in education and helping out in local educational settings with social and emotional health and math in particular. Tell us about, and you have about 80 ABLE folks?
We have 80 full-time positions serving across public schools, charter schools, community organizations, and again for 4th through 10th grade. So if people are looking for little kids, that's not part of our education focus right now.
10th grade. And how many folks are you recruiting right now?
We still have about 35 positions available. So we just had a big orientation last week, and then we'll have a smaller one probably mid to end November, early December for the rest of the cohort.
And if folks are interested in applying, how do they go about it?
They can go onto our website, www.tscwny.org, or call our office at 716-418-8500. And we do have an agency recruiter whose name is Michael Rickert.
All right, fabulous. All right, let's talk about one of the other programs you're also recruiting for right now, your Economic Development Corps. What are those members up to?
Those members are going to begin service in a brand new program at the Service Collaborative, and EDC, as we are calling it, will address financial literacy programming across Western New York. So serving in not-for-profits, supporting programs that are providing credit counseling, financial literacy, home ownership, foreclosure, business development. They'll be placed in these nonprofits who are already doing the programming across the community.
Fantastic. So folks who might be interested in that, what kind of profile are you looking for a recruit for Economic Development Corps?
Similar to ABLE, some college, 4-year degree, high school diploma, people who are looking to really be embedded within a community. You don't need to be an accountant. You don't need to love taxes. But you will come to appreciate all of that after doing a year with EDC.
Well, yeah, you're kind of setting yourself up for life to have your own financial literacy well in hand, which is great skills to build as a young person, regardless of what you go into, as well as, of course, being of great help to people out there. And I know from our experience working in financial literacy with you all that the need is sort of bottomless. I mean, people really, really need to learn how to deal with things like checking and credit and not getting ripped off by payday loans and rent-to-own stores and all the other businesses out there that tend to prey on people. So very glad you're working on that. Totally different program that you also run, Youth Build. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Western New York Youth Build, Leaders Under Construction, is a program that supports 16 to 24-year-olds from our community in a holistic workforce development program. So through funding from the U.S. Department of Labor, we are able to welcome 32 individuals into our cohort that will start January 2018. We are looking for individuals who are high school dropouts, who are looking to get their high school diploma. We provide high school equivalency classes 4 half days a week, and then the other half days a week we bring our Youth Build students onto a work site in partnership with Push Buffalo. We will be rehabbing a house from the bottom to the top, and these individuals, these Youth Build students, will receive a nationally recognized credential called the Home Builders Institute credential. They'll receive OSHA 10 training, first aid and CPR, any other sort of workforce credentials that they might be interested in, we're able to support them through. And we really look at this program as a way for individuals to either get a fresh start or to start in a path that will provide them with all of the credentials that they need to get a job, to go to college, to go to a trade or into an apprenticeship.
So it's a year-long program?
It's about
how long?
About 9 months.
About 9 months.
It's paced based on the individual student. So, you know, if a student starts in January and by February they're ready to sit for their high school equivalency, they sit for their high school equivalency. And then depending on when they get their Home Builders Institute, when they sort of check the boxes of the other pieces of successful completion of Youth Build, then we move them into our follow-up period, and we follow them for a year at a minimum.
Interesting. And that's to help them actually get jobs?
Get jobs. I always like the story of our staff who will get the college schedule of a student and go and sit outside the classroom waiting for them. Start chatting up their professor. And But it's really a way for the Youth Build students to feel continuously supported.
Yeah.
Many of our students, that support is foreign to them.
Yeah.
And we want to be that rock to them
Yeah.
to start beginning toward whatever their life will hold.
Yeah, for them to know that they've got you all in their
Yes.
corner to be able to rely on is
Mhm.
fantastic. So really an amazing program. So if folks out there know of youth who have dropped out from high school and are looking for a fresh start, here's a chance to get your GED, but also get invaluable work experience on a real live construction site and lots of life skill training and other forms of support. So for people interested in that, how do they apply for Youth Build?
They can call our office again, 716-418-8500. I think starting now or very soon, there'll be a very specific message on our phone to say who to what number to press.
Yeah.
Also, our office, we hand out paper applications. We're at 173 Elm Street. Our office entry, however, is along Michigan. So right around 490 Michigan, across from the gas station at William in Michigan, is our parking lot and main entrance.
Right. It's not the easiest entrance in the world to find, but it's right around the corner from where we are
Yes.
right now, right around the corner from WUFO and the Colored Musicians Club, entering off of Michigan. So really encourage people to talk up the Youth Build program, such a great program for people who have dropped out of high school and are ready to work on their GED and get that work experience and those life skills. Another wonderful program you all run is Volunteer Western New York. Tell us a little bit about that.
Volunteer WNY is our main volunteer component of the Service Collaborative. Service, volunteering, they all kind of coincide, but volunteerwny.org is the place that local nonprofits across our 5 western counties can go on to post volunteer needs, and then individuals from across our region can find volunteer opportunities and sign up for them, track their hours.
So really the clearinghouse for volunteer
Yes.
opportunities, the place where if you need volunteers, you can post there, and if you want to volunteer, you can find opportunities, volunteerwny.org. Wonderful resource for us all to know about here in Western New York. And I'm really excited about something you were just telling me about, Beds for Buffalo. Explain
Yes.
that one to us.
Beds for Buffalo is our newest initiative at the Service Collaborative. It is, it started as an idea from our director of Volunteer WNY. It's been floating around his head for quite a number of years. What if we were able to build beds for kids? And so this project, first funded through the East Hill Foundation, gratefully, is working to build 100 twin-sized beds for families in need across Western New York. We'll partner with local community organizations to identify families in need and then distribute the beds to those organizations who will in turn distribute to families.
Fantastic program and a cool volunteer opportunity for folks who want to pick up a little carpentry skills.
Yes.
You can go help make those beds. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so every Friday, at a minimum, we are set up at the wood shop at the Foundry over on Northampton. We were very generously donated the lumber for this project from Bailey Lumber. The catch is that it's unmilled lumber, so it's just coming to us in great big sheets of beautiful hardwood. And we have to cut it to size, we have to sand it, we have to shape it. We haven't gotten to the drilling part yet where all of the hardware will go,
Right.
but on a volunteer day, volunteers will come into the wood shop. They'll be paired either with a TSC staff member or a Youth Build student, and they will be milling, sanding, soon drilling, all to prepare the lumber to put these beds together.
So if you're interested in learning how to make a bed and help make beds for 100 families in Buffalo, here's a great opportunity every Friday at the Foundry. And for folks who don't know the Foundry, you mentioned that you're giving them an award as a community partner at your Suite for Service event November 4th. Tell us a little bit about the Foundry and why you're giving them an award.
Yep. So the Foundry has been a consistent partner of the Service Collaborative for the last couple of years. It's been a really valuable partner for our Youth Build program because the Foundry has the type, they have machines for woodworkers and carpenters and that people dream about.
Yeah.
And so our students are able to go there, and through facilitated trainings by the Service Collaborative staff, they're actually able to work hands-on with some of the machines and devices that otherwise we would just be showing pictures of.
Right.
And so it's a cool incubator on the east side of Buffalo that small shop businesses can set up in, but then also they offer all sorts of community classes.
Yeah, really a great resource. If you haven't checked it out, check out the Foundry. It's on Northampton, just west of Jefferson, and a lot of different things going on there. As Kate's mentioning, different kinds of classes and different kinds of artisans and workers in all different kinds of trades hanging out at the Foundry. A really cool partner. We used to have our dance party, the Movement, at the Foundry for a couple of years. It was a good dance venue among many other things. So encourage people to check out the Foundry and to come honor them among others at your Suite for Service event November 4th. We're talking with Kate Serrata from the Service Collaborative of Western New York here on The Public Good. And Kate, we've, I think, been able to run through most of your programs. We haven't talked about Vista yet, though, which is, of course, the one we participate in. So tell us a little bit about Vista.
So Vista, Volunteers in Service to America. Vista is one of the most established national service programs that fall under the umbrella of the Corporation for National and Community Service at the federal level. And Vista is the more behind-the-scenes support to organizations. And we are very fortunate to operate one of the largest VISTA programs in New York State. And our members do everything from financial outreach to veterans and military family programming, a spattering of education, healthy futures. And these members are placed at organizations, to build the capacity of these organizations. So they have the ability to fundraise, to write grants, to research those grants, to build programming around volunteer programs, and how to support these organizations to be able to provide more to the communities.
Yeah, really a great resource that we've been lucky to take part in. So Kate, we've got a few minutes left that maybe we can reflect a little on all this great work that you're doing. And I guess the first question I want to ask you is, for the members who go through your program, which is typically going to be a year of service, right?
Yep.
Sometimes they re-up for a second year. Yep. What do you feel like they most value in the experience? What do you hear from your alumni about what they got out of being a Service Collaborative member?
Well, I can speak from personal experience because I'm an AmeriCorps Vista alum myself. And service is something that I think a lot of people enter into thinking that they're going to change something. Some think they're going to change the world. Some think they'll change one child in their year of service. And what they leave realizing is that they're the ones who are more changed than anything. And national service is such an amazing model to give highly knowledgeable, highly motivated individuals to nonprofits and schools around the community, both here in Western New York and across the country, to build capacity. Right. And the experiences you get in 1 year, I believe, because I know it happened for me, is more than I would have gotten 5 years in a normal job. And then the ancillary benefits, the education award. I used my education awards to get my master's degree. And didn't have to take out student loans.
Nice.
So there are a lot of pieces that after a year or two of service will stay with you forever.
Did you do your VISTA service here in Western New York, or were you elsewhere?
I did my first year of VISTA in El Paso, Texas.
Oh, wow.
I was at an economic development organization down there, and then I came back and did 2 years of being a VISTA leader.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Fantastic. And how do you see the Service Collaborative's role in the community in Western New York? Where do you feel like you guys fit in the ecosystem? What particular value do you think you add?
Well, that's the $1,000,000 question. Well, I think what's unique about the Service Collaborative is that we are skilled and knowledgeable in the areas of which we provide programming. So education, financial opportunity, youth development, and volunteerism. But we turn that knowledge into support for community organizations and schools. So we're able to build the capacity, build the resource bank, build the support of local nonprofits.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, let's recap some of the key points we've made today. First of all, the fundraiser. Tell us again about that.
Suite for Service happening on November 4th at 5:30 p.m. at the Ellicott Square building.
Going to be a fantastic event. And then let's talk about your recruitment needs. So folks out there looking for jobs, looking for skill development, tell us what they might want to apply for at the Service Collaborative.
Right now, our recruitment is focusing on AmeriCorps Builds Lives Through Education, which is our education-focused program in schools and in after-school programs. Our financial literacy program, Economic Development Corps, which will place individuals at local nonprofits, and our Youth Build program looking for 16 to 24-year-olds.
So that's a lot of great opportunities available right now. So really urge people who know of young people who might be interested in a year of service or a year of development to contact the Service Collaborative of Western New York. And lastly, the Beds for Buffalo.
Yes.
Tell us about people who might want to spend their Friday afternoons building beds.
So if anyone is interested in volunteering for Beds for Buffalo, you can find the volunteer opportunity at www.volunteerwny.org. And please sign up before you just show up. But our projects will be happening between now and the end of the year, and we're hopeful that this project will sustain far beyond our first 100 beds.
All right, fantastic. Well, Kate Serrata, thanks so much for joining us on The Public Good and for all you do at the Service Collaborative.
Thank you.
I want to remind folks that this Saturday, October 14th, is the Anti-Gentrification Summit at the Matt Urban Hope Center, 385 Paderewski Drive. Come out anytime between 9:30 and 4 p.m. or come for the whole day and learn about housing, policing, education, and transit, all things related to issues of gentrification and displacement here in the city of Buffalo. And also want to remind you about the great Reclaiming Our Ancestors Conference coming up October 19th from 21st to 21st. You can get more information about that at the UB Humanities Institute website and their social media, but a really exciting national conference taking place in Buffalo dealing with issues of slavery and folks whose ancestors were enslaved, but also lots of other topics about community engagement. I know I'm on a panel talking about the work of PPG. Looking forward to that event. Well, with that, I want to thank you so much, Kate Serrata, for being on the show.
Everybody over there!
Get on up.
Everybody right there!
Get into it.